hip-hop gamer show. What it is, hip-hop gamer show.
Wow, you serious?
And I only got my chance because Glen Schofield of Sledgehammer Studio.
Glen Schofield is my dude.
Right? When I got out of college, I was in the test department and I was messing around in the hallway at Capcom way back in like 92, 93. I run into big old Glenn, who was an art director there at the time, and man, he pushed up against the wall and said, dude, you ain't ever gonna be there to run around this hallway, right? You hook up with my boy Tyrone. Tyrone was a brother like 7'2", Kareem Abdul-Jabbar looking brother, right?
Wow.
So I'm gonna hook you up with Tyrone. Tyrone's gonna teach you some skills, and we're gonna get you into the studio. You ain't ever, this ain't a career what you doing here. The career's in the development department. And man, I was, this dude is big, right?
Wow.
I wasn't big as I am now, you know what I'm saying? And it was actually illegal for me to be back there. You know what the cats did? You know what Glenn did?
What?
He had them hide, because this is a Japanese studio, he had them hide key cards in the bushes for a black kid they did not know to come in after 1 o'clock when the security was down to come in and learn how to do 3D on these big old SGI, $50,000 SGI machines. And he didn't know even matter.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, man. This right here is the most important information that I think I've ever received as a journalist, and I've been doing this for 7 years. And I think this interview and things that you're saying right now is the most inspirational, powerful. If my grandma was alive today, she'll invite you to the house, food, everything. You good? Good, man.
From that moment on, I knew that this was, I'd always been told by my brothers, man, you got to get that ladder over the wall. You got to get me brothers up here, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up without any idols, without a road. That's what a lot of these brothers don't have. They don't have people who have done right, who have actually succeeded, and who are actually have the opportunity to turn. Because a lot of brothers who have some success, they're trapped and they can't turn around and throw that rope ladder over the side and try to get as many brothers out of that hole. Because when we go into a job interview, it's not the same thing.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
People say, plenty of people have told me, man, you don't look like you sound on the phone.
You don't like, as if you don't belong here once they see you.
Yes, you know how much that breaks a kid's heart. I mean, I'm 21 years old. My whole family's dependent on me to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Help pay mom's rent. And then on, that's the one thing I say to people when they come to work for me. Look, we're here to pay our mom's rent. And we ain't stopping till mom's rent is paid. And that's a whole different category of want than, I want to do this thing because it's fun. No. Paid or not, it could be 4th down and 72 yards, baby. Everybody's showing up. Everybody's hustling. Right?
And don't make that play.
Yeah, we making that play. And man, when Glenn gave me that opportunity to do it, I never looked back, man. I never looked back, dude. You know
that is legendary, man. And I know Glenn. Like, I met Glenn plenty of times. I interviewed him plenty of times. I love Glenn. He always showed me love, man. Glen Schofield that's my guy.
Glenn, back in the day, Glenn was the only non-black senior executive who was hiring brothers like the UCLA coach.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? He was the only person who would look a brother in the eye and say, can you do this work, man? Because what I need to know is whether you are willing to learn what you don't know so you can help us win. I don't care about anything else. No mumbo jumbo, no black white. What I need to know, if you can bring the heat, then come on, because no one's going to give you a chance but me. So you don't do this.
I'm gonna tell you, man. This interview right here is going to, like, this is another one for the books, man. This is another one for the record books, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something real talk. I also interviewed RZA, right? When Brick Mansions was coming out. You know what I'm saying? And I had a good conversation with him, and he was like, he been doing interviews all day, getting the same dumb questions and all this other stuff. But when me and him did our interview, he was like, this was worth the wait. And we had a great time. We was talking about mad stuff, gave him a nerd shirt and all this other stuff, games and everything. It was great. So to be able to resurface all this energy, it means a lot, because I think we could do a lot. Now what I want to ask you is, what's some of the goals that you got with this project? You know what I'm saying, Afro Samurai 2. What's some of the goals that you wanted to do and capitalize off of part 1 and make it that much better and more engaging, especially with a lower budget now?
So what we did was, the previous game, the previous game had so much behind it, you know what I'm saying? And so much emotion behind it, you know what I'm saying? And my sister passed in the last 2 months of Afro, just as we were shipping, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear, man.
And you know, man, so I had a lot of emotional, you know, when the game came out and it was rushed and do really well, I felt that let her down, you know what I'm saying? Dude, when I got that opportunity to do it again, man, she was all I was thinking about. And I was thinking, I sat down, I sat the whole team down, and we just honestly just looked at what did we do wrong?
Right.
We looked at every review, right? And we knew we were going to get cast in a bad light because we're a game that's really urbanly focused, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to look at everything that everybody said wrong, because it doesn't matter whether they understand us or not, wrong is wrong. They didn't like the camera. We had a camera fix. In a makeup build, Namco never. We literally had a perfect build that Namco never let us ship. Every bug fixed.
Really?
They had to hit it. Yes, and they wouldn't let us ship it. Hey, just back then it cost you 50 G's just to submit a disc, right? So I appreciate it was a money call, but it broke all of our hearts, because that was a really small team that had worked 4 years, 7 days a week to try to get that game out, to try to do great things. You know what I'm saying? And we took all of that knowledge, all those things that we had failed on, the camera broken, the combat system opening up too late, the terrain-based navigation stuff all broken, was just come out of the fact that we were a really small team, 15 dudes trying to compete with Naughty Dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I took all that to heart, and I told Steve and told Riz, like, look, there are 2 main focuses of this enterprise. One is to open up hip-hop and games as a conduit to all these brothers and sisters who have no hope, right? And now I control the channel. I'm the BET of games, with digital distribution, with the Unity engine ubiquitizing all of the highest of technology. We can do this thing, and we can do it rather cheaply, right? Cost effectively, not cheaply, right? Because cheaply gives you a sense that there's not a lot of handcraftiness going in there. Yeah. There's a lot of people poured over this game like a motherfucker for the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Every day, no breaks. You know what I'm saying? 18-hour days. I get Sunday off, and that's it. See my mama, pray to my God, wash my clothes, get back to work. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the important thing with me was getting that camera fixed, so we have fixed cameras in the game. Right?
Nice.
So opening up the storyline. So we're an episodic game, right?
Nice. I like that.
And it came out of necessity. You know, a lot of kids feel like, oh, you're just holding back on us. Please, I wish I could afford levels 12 or 14. Right? We shipped as much as we actually had money, and then we missed a couple of rent payments. You know what I'm saying? That's what this first chapter is all about. Hoping and praying that we get enough brothers and sisters interested in this enterprise to pay into this thing, to buy our chapter, so we can actually start making a second one and a third one and a fourth one. And that's what's so really spectacular about digital distribution, is that Sony's and the Microsofts and Steam will allow us to do what we want to do without the pressure of a publisher saying, you're done.
Wow.
And when it comes to influencers, I mean, Namco, we had amazingly cool things in the game that we had to yank out because Namco just was too conservative or whatever.
I'm going to tell you something right now, and I want the fans to listen and understand this. But the situation that David is explaining right now is a similar situation with 50 Cent. Now, when 50 was at Columbia, they didn't understand what Queens, Southside Jamaica Queens was all about. They didn't understand why he was the way he was. what he was talking about. It's not like you trying to be hard or trying to be gangster. Your mom died when you was 12. Your father was not around. You tried to, do jobs and doing other stuff, but it wasn't working for you because you was too young to be able to bring in anything. So you got involved with what you thought you could do because you saw others do it, and it was a part of your family already because your mom was in the street. And then now you get shot 9 times, you got all this stuff going on and everything, and you wondering where to go. So you have a kid, you don't want to do that no more because you can't provide for him for the rest of your life that way. So you turn to music. So now Columbia is looking at you like, oh, you just this street thug, not understanding what this man had to go through. And then you go to Dr. Dre and Eminem, they understand where you coming from. And not only do they understand, they got the money to support it and back you. And now look, those same Columbia Records people was like, wow, we had 50 Cent. And look at 50 Cent, biggest selling debut in hip hop ever, one of the biggest names ever. Now he got movies, he got TV shows, he got G Unity Foundation, which helps the kids out. Like, he's doing all these things, you know what I'm saying? So I love the fact God works in amazing, mysterious ways.
Yeah, he does.
And that opened, the first Afro Samurai opened the door for you, because in reality, when you went to that school, and when you went to talk to them kids and they knew about it, that was the goal, to get people to at least know about it. So now when you come through, you can come through with what you wanted to do and take it to the next level and make people recognize, and I'm one of the people that's going to support it. So yeah, it's on, baby. Yeah. It's on, man.
Yeah, and that's what I went to RZA and I'm like, Riz, check this out, man. With the first game, I had this mantra, right? And nobody's invited unless they ain't got no money. And he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, man. I want all new ground level hip hop. I don't want anybody who's got a job voicing anything on any of my tracks, because that's gonna take away from the brothers who ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And I told him, this is Noah's Ark, cat. Right? This is our opportunity to get as many brothers while we can over this wall. And that means I can't invite the 50 Cents. I can't invite all these brothers who actually can pay. I'm looking for a dude, right, who is literally 8 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? Who can't afford his mom's rent, who's desperately trying to break out. Here's a door, because they don't get many of those doors. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Without any strings. You own your music, right? We are borrowing it to get you to the top, right? There are some real strict rules and a whole lot of act right, because you got the RZA and Sam Jackson who are putting their name on this pro bono.
Yeah, that is huge.
And you got to fundamentally understand, when people have something to lose and they're reaching back and giving you some, you gotta pour a whole 80-ounce glass of act right.
Yeah. Because
I got mine. I'm trying to reach back and give you yours. So
you better respect it. Period. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I get it. Now I got another question for you, and another major question. I played the first game. I ended the first game, and I loved the first game. Period. I loved it. Like, I could bring my nephews in here and they'll tell you, like, yeah, Afro Samurai, this and that, you know what I'm saying? They love that game, you know? Now, what I want to ask you is, have you ever thought, or have you had any conversation with people like BET or like other companies that they got the power to really, really put this out here? I do understand that you guys did the partnership with Revolt, which is great. That's Puffy and stuff. So what I want to ask you is, what do you actually need to not just have Afro Samurai 2 come out and it be hot, but for it to stay hot, to maintain momentum, so it can lead into other things? Because Afro Samurai, the next game you do may not be Afro Samurai, it may be another game that's heavily influenced by this, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I want to know, what do you feel that you need or that can help in those areas, because that's something else we could talk about, and the fans would love to support that movement as well. And also, we want to see the game, man. We want to see what you guys got, man. We want to see it, baby. Where we gonna see it?